What is a secret you know about someone that could literally ruin their life? My mom is the most straight-laced, uptight person you can imagine, and she works very high-level financial jobs for the government. If you looked up professional woman in the dictionary, it would probably just be a picture of her. What no one else knows is that she has a tattoo on the back of her leg of a bear with penises instead of legs. Like where its legs would be, there are just massive dicks. She wears tights or pants to cover it all the time. As far as I know, I'm the only person that knows about it. She was a very wild teenager and met up with an aspiring tattoo artist in a hotel room to get a tattoo of a bear when she was 16. The guy got a little excessively creative and gave her a bear with dicks for legs. It is so vulgar that if anyone saw it, I think there's a good chance she would lose her job, or at least have some serious explaining to do. I once asked her why she does not get it removed, and she says it is her symbol to her stupid youth. I was homeless as a teen. I sold weed because I was not legally allowed to work at that age in my state. Was not willing to steal. I wanted to earn my money, legal or not, and I was not willing to sell something more profitable and ruin people's lives with addiction. So I was around a lot of crime and eventually met a guy who had a lot of connections. Eventually, I started running small jobs for him. Nothing too serious, just delivering packages. One thing led to another and I got more involved. Eventually, I was basically his right-hand man. I made a lot of money, enough to get off the streets and get an apartment. One day he tells me about this big score. He wanted me to help him rob this house. I said no. He got mad and said I was out. A few weeks later, I see on the news that he and his crew tried to rob that house. The owner was home. He shot one of them. I still wonder sometimes if I would have been there. Would things have been different? But I know for sure I do not want to find out. I got out of that life completely and now have a normal job. My ex-boss and ex-best friend is a covert narcissist who loves lies by omission. He dodges taxes in the stupidest ways by depositing payments from roofing jobs complete with sales tax directly into his personal bank account and then just not reporting it as if they never did the job. He deletes the invoices even though invoice numbers are sequential and he would get found out in a jiff under an audit. He lies to the union about how much work is done and underreports things so he pays them less. He lies about the guys working on his roofs since they are not really part of the union, but they used to be, so he likes to think he can get away with it. He lies to his commercial roofing insurance about the amount of hot work that he does to save on insurance. The family of a good friend is very religious, to the point that they only let her go to school or out with people they approved. I was the good girl who was allowed to go out with her to have fun. So I was with my friend during her rebellious stage in which she got into everything her family hated. She got piercings, drank alcohol, dated guys. There was a video of her in a threesome that we had to delete from a guy's cell phone, and even has a couple of tattoos. The point is that she is now of legal age and her family treats her as the exemplary girl that she never gave problems with the minors of the family. She is in a one-year relationship with a boy from church that they approve of, and with whom she had no relationships because they are expecting marriage. If they knew the things she did in her adolescence, they would completely disown her. They would take away all the financial stability that she has since she continues to live with her parents. And all her neighbors would stop talking to her because her father is the pastor of the church. One of my brother's military friends forced act upon me while my brother, his friend, and one of my friends were hanging out playing pool and drinking. My brother knows because I told him the night it happened. My family also knows. The dude is married and has 3 kids. Initially, my brother was furious and talked about shooting the guy, but now they are friends again, and the reasoning he gave me was everybody cheats. Except none of it was consensual, and I'm not a bad person. His wife showed up in my People You May Know on Facebook, and I have contemplated telling her. I'm reading these, and I bet these would not really ruin lives. My sister's secret got found out, and there were literally 0 consequences. Her life is fine. She lives in a beautiful house and has no debt. The secret is she pretended to go to dental school for 3 years after actually going for almost 1 year just so my parents would pay for expensive private apartments. Then when that worked so well, she did it again pretending to go to ortho school. Then for 3 years, she pretended to some to be studying for the dental exam. And to some, she claimed she was a practicing dentist, including her boyfriend. For 3 years. Now, everyone knows she is a scam artist, but they just say, oh well, everyone makes mistakes, and the boyfriend married her. My parents gave her $65,000 free. Would not really ruin his life, but it would be embarrassing. One of my buddies is a furry, like a massive furry, I was looking for some old Call of Duty videos we made in like 2009. I was just searching the old gamer tags, trying to figure out where they were, and a page for a furry website popped up. It had all his basic info on it, with an up-to-date age. I looked around the page and found an IRL pic from his room that I recognized. It had like 8 years of almost daily uploads and interactions on there. Have not told anyone. Cannot really. Not gonna be the guy that just bullies him or tells our other friends. He is not hurting anyone, but I'm also not gonna tell him I know, because that would be really awkward. I'm terrified. I'm going to let it slip when I'm drunk. One of my coworkers smokes hard substances at work. In the last 3 months, I have found probably half a dozen pipes she has left behind because she is too messed up to remember to hide them. About a month ago, she started leaving these passive-aggressive notes, usually when the boss shows up, about how she is the only one who does her job. I showed her the folder on my phone and told her if she leaves another note for me to read, I will call the boss, then I will call DHR. I do not messed up about that job, but I will be messed up before I let some person get me fired. My brother had an affair with one of my friend's moms. She used to give him a lift to work when he was 18 years old, and she started being suggestive on one drive, so they pulled over, and you know what? This continued for a long time, over 6 months. She ended up getting obsessed with him, and he blocked her on all social media and his phone and basically buried his head in the sand. Her husband is a huge scary guy that owns one of the pubs, and her son is a lifelong friend of mine. None of them know. He only told me, as she, seemingly, did not tell anyone. It is pretty weird having such a weighted secret. The amount of cheating stories on here makes me really sad. It is heartbreaking and sucks even more that these people are like, I'm not going to tell their partner. Maybe it is an unpopular opinion, but tell them. If they want to act on that, that is their decision. Do not take that from them. It is not fair that the person being cheated on does not get to make an informed decision about their own relationship. My girlfriend's grandfather has a secret family. He emigrated to my country from the US when he was younger and kept in touch with his ex. But he is also dating a woman here, who is the mother of a very prominent political figure in my country. He travels back and forth from my country to the States to visit family and play golf, and the woman left behind has no idea. The one living in the US actually knows about the other one, but the one in my country is fairly religious and would probably not approve. My coworker drunkenly confessed to a takeout to myself and another coworker. He told us the story, the details including the victim, the location of the body, and the motive. I have actually reported it to law enforcement, but they never followed up with me. They either do not believe me or they have important stuff to deal with. This was 2 years ago, and I still think about it almost every day. I have dreams about it. I do not know what to do with this information. It is weighing on me heavily. My friend cheated on her husband when we were on a girls' night out, and I did not know until after because I was dancing with a guy, and she kind of disappeared during that. She even tried to hide that she was wearing a ring. She never fessed up to her husband. A few months later, for completely unrelated reasons, she and her husband started talking about divorce, but her husband was the one who served her with papers. She will complain about how she deserves it and is a horrible person, just so people will massage her ego and tell her she is great. Like, no, you messed up, and as much as it is tempting, I should not reassure you that you are this amazing person, even if you are kind in other ways. None of our mutual friends know. All respect her, and it really bothers me. A good friend of mine is Indian and gay, which she knows her family will not accept. She is about to have an arranged marriage to a man who is also gay. Neither of their families know the truth and are excited about the upcoming wedding. The groom's boyfriend is part of the wedding party. They plan to have children via IVF at some point. I used to know someone who told her daughter her bio dad is gone. He is not, and very findable. Crazy. I never said anything because the father in question was a violent person and she wanted to protect her child. My adopted daughter's biological mother had severe mental health issues, and her substance issues caused her passing. These stemmed from the fact that she knew she was the product of an incestuous worst thing possible, and it was not kept secret. I do not ever want my daughter to find out, because I'm afraid of what it could do to her psychologically. I know his kink, he knows mine. It is basically mutually assured destruction if either of us ever turns into that big an asshole. One guy I know in high school wears diapers to bed because he still pisses the bed. He is popular, so I could spread that like wildfire if I wanted to, but we are buddies. He does not know I know, and that is the way I will keep it. I seem to be the only person who knows that I have no idea what I'm doing at work. Every day, I wake up and pretend to be competent. I have fooled everyone, including my bosses. They think I'm a valuable employee, but really, I'm just good at pretending. Do not tell my employer. Maybe not a life, but a lot of relationships. My mom and I have spoken in length about our stances on abortion. I personally would not do it, and I do not think it is right to try and control someone else's body. My mother has 5 bio children. We were all whoopsie babies, but my parents tried hard to prevent a 4th pregnancy. My dad got snipped, but something did not heal right or whatever, and my mom got pregnant. When she found out, she immediately went to an abortion clinic because she knew if she had another baby, it meant the end of her and my dad.